Chapter 12. Pivot your people skills. Be nice and ask questions. Maya Angelou once said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." Looking back at many memories in my lifetime, this quote is tremendously spot on. We have an incredible superpower to transform another human's mood or day, all by how we treat them. The way you interact with others is a direct reflection of what you are contributing to the world. I challenge you to answer this question. Are you making a positive or negative impact? Anytime Freddie and I leave the house knowing we will be interacting with the world, we intentionally set out to be positive. We smile, give genuine compliments, help someone in need, or use a person's name when we're chatting with them. This extends beyond family and friends. We strive to be a bright light to strangers on the street, cashiers, waiters, and everyone in between. Even if the positive energy isn't reciprocated, we make the decision to always be nice and upbeat. During the summer of 2018, I came home one day with the brightest smile on my face. "What's going on, babe?" Freddie asked. Oh my gosh, I just witnessed two of the coolest things today. It put me in the greatest mood. "I love seeing humans being good to other humans," I replied. "So, get this," I went on. "First, I was driving to my appointment and I'm sitting at a red light. I glance up and see this woman smiling from ear to ear with a sign that says, 'Honk if you're happy.' The sign instantly put a smile on my face and I started honking. Right as I started honking, 4 other cars surrounding me began to honk as well, almost making the perfect beat. The woman holding the sign was just radiating positivity. As the light turned green, the car in front of me rolled down their window and yelled, 'I'm happy now. Thank you.' It was just the coolest act to watch and totally lifted my spirits. I caught myself smiling to myself for at least the next 5 minutes, all because of this nice interaction of strangers I happily recounted. Just retelling the story brought a smile to my face. Freddie then went on to ask, "Well, what was the other thing?" I'm not sure how it could beat that. My face grew brighter. Okay, so after my appointment, I'm sitting in bumper-to-bumper traffic with my windows rolled down. I finally make it up to the main stoplight, and all of a sudden, these 2 young guys come up to my car with huge grins on their faces, one with a guitar in his hands. They happily shouted, "Quick, pick a song." I crazily yelled, "Toxic" by Britney Spears. And to my surprise, this duo started playing and singing the song and ran through this long line of traffic, serenading them. I glanced around at the people in the cars. They were smiling and laughing, and passengers were even taking videos on their phones. It was so cool to watch. I cheerfully reminisced. This story is the perfect illustration of the power we hold to add value and happiness to other people's lives, even strangers. Sure, you may not always have that kind of energy. Life comes up, situations arise. But being aware and putting the practice of carrying a positive attitude around with you goes a long way. So much, in fact, that it will eventually become second nature to you. When you operate your everyday life from a grateful place, you will train your mind to always be positive and kind. Quick tips guide to making someone feel good. Number 1, use their name. People tend to feel good when they hear their name. Anytime I am out and see an employee with a name tag, I always address them by their name. They instantly perk up, and it feels great for both parties to connect. Number 2, smile. Flashing someone a genuine smile, whether it is a friend, family member, or stranger, will instantly affect them and brighten their day. Number 3, be nice and ask questions. Take a genuine interest in others. Be friendly and ask questions. Number 4, compliment others. Compliments go a long way and can transform another's mood. If you like something, don't be afraid to say it. You'll be pleasantly surprised by how good you feel afterward, too. Number 5, treat people well even when they disagree with you. We're not always going to agree with everything another individual says. That's okay. That's what makes the world go round. However, always practice kindness even when you have opposing views. Be nice and ask questions. When Freddie and I were running our anti-aging business, we fielded, no exaggeration, thousands of phone calls speaking to a wide variety of people from all walks of life. Some had questions about specific products, while others wanted more details on the business end. Some individuals were above and beyond kind, while others were sharp and rude. Never knowing what kind of attitude we were going to receive on the other end of the line allowed us to really hone our people skills. The easiest way to connect with a stranger? Be nice and ask questions. One afternoon in 2016, my phone went off. It was a text from a business partner named Amanda. Are you available for a conference call right now? My aunt has questions regarding the product. I hit reply and answered, sure thing. Within 5 minutes, Amanda called me and patched in her Aunt Lisa. Amanda went on to say, Aunt Lisa, this is Alyssa. She's been working with the company for 2 years and can help you with your product questions. After a few seconds of silence, I jumped in. Hi, Lisa. It's nice to meet you. Aunt Lisa finally responded, sounding cold and distant. Hi. Hold on. Okay, so it was going to be one of those calls, I thought to myself. After a while, Lisa finally got back on the line. I had 2 options. I could quickly answer her questions and hurry off of the call, or I could be nice and ask questions. I chose the latter. Awesome, I started. Are you from Florida too? I am, she replied. Nice. I actually grew up in South Florida, I responded. Her energy perked up. Really? Where about? Lisa asked. I grew up in a little town called Coral Springs right near Parkland and Boca Raton, I answered. Get out. I've lived in Boca for 20 years. Amanda mentioned you were from Los Angeles. I had no idea, Aunt Lisa excitedly said. From here, our conversation completely pivoted. She asked me about my time with the company and had a few product questions. We connected on various levels. By the end of the conversation, she ended up divulging that she was having one of those days and was so happy we had connected. A few months later, Lisa partnered with the company and we had a blast working together. To this day, she and I still have a very special friendship. And to think, if I would have just written off that call, we would have never had these experiences together. You may be reading and thinking, this is all great for you, but I am an introvert. I don't know what questions to ask. Here's a little tip. People's favorite radio station? WIIFM. What's in it for me? Humans love to talk about themselves. The best way to break the ice is by asking questions about the other person. The perfect formula is when 2 humans have a genuine interest in gaining knowledge and equally go back and forth communicating and asking questions. Imagine that. Had I not asked Lisa about where she was from, we most likely would have had a 2-minute conversation and gone our separate ways. Asking questions is not only an excellent way to break the ice, but it allows you to continue to grow and learn. You are gaining knowledge on more topics and becoming well-rounded and interesting in the process. One of my favorite questions to ask strangers is, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received? I single-handedly get to collect knowledge from anyone that comes across my path. No matter what their background, gender, or age, this question always brings value. Be wildly curious about others. If you're unsure of conversation starters, follow this simple formula to help keep the discussion rolling. Form: family, occupation, recreation, motivation. Number 1, family. Ask questions about family. For example, how's your family? What grade is your daughter in now? Is Jimmy still in softball? Number 2, occupation. Ask questions about occupation. For example, what are you doing for work? How did your big presentation go? Number 3, recreation. Ask questions about recreation. For example, what do you do for fun? Are you still going to yoga on Tuesday? Number 4, motivation. Ask questions about motivation. For example, what's your favorite podcast? What songs do you listen to when you work out? Form can be used for any situation, making meaningful connections on dates and in business. Ask yourself this: when someone leaves your presence, do they leave better than they were when they began speaking to you? Food for thought. How to make a great first impression. It doesn't matter the situation. Whether you are meeting a new acquaintance, getting interviewed, taking a meeting, going on a first date, or meeting the parents, you only have one shot to make a first impression. First impressions are incredibly hard to change. Think about a coworker or perhaps a boss or friend. Chances are you have a specific feeling towards them due to the first few critical seconds of your initial meeting. Here's how you can make those seconds count. Number 1, introduce yourself within the first 7 seconds. The first 7 seconds in which you meet a new individual is when you'll make your first impression. No matter what my mood, whenever I am meeting someone new, I always make an effort to offer my hand first and introduce myself. The introduction is a wonderful place to reinforce the name of the person you just met. I am not the greatest with names, so this little trick helps me. For example, once the contact offers their name, "Hi, I'm Becca," I always reply with, "Great to meet you, Becca." This allows the new contact's name to be embedded into my brain to remember for later. Number 2, smile. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Your energy is contagious. Be the positive presence you want to have surrounding you. Offering a smile allows the other individual to feel comfortable with you and helps you to loosen up. Number 3, make eye contact. Looking an individual in the eye shows you are confident and interested in what they are saying. It also displays respect to the person you are meeting. By making eye contact, it shows you are interested in the conversation. On that same note, looking away too often will make you appear distracted. Don't get too wild on this one, though. If you don't take breaks every now and then, your eye contact becomes staring. Moderation is everything. Number 4, be aware of body language. I am fascinated with people watching. There is so much you can learn about an individual by merely observing their body language, their anxieties, comfort, confidence, etc. When making a first impression, you want to be standing up straight with body relaxed and comfortable. Have you ever heard of the power poses? High power poses are often open and relaxed, while the low power poses are closed and guarded. Being aware of your stance will allow you to make a killer first impression. Number 5, be nice and ask questions. When you are meeting people for the first time, approach others with a genuine interest in who they are. This is often contagious. You will have far better conversations and lasting connections when you are interested. Actively engage and listen to your new contact. It will build a solid foundation for your future relationship. Pivot into action. Are you ready to pivot your people skills? Answer the following questions. Number 1, do I feel I make great first impressions? What do I need to work on? Number 2, am I taking the time to genuinely get to know my peers by being nice and asking questions? Number 3, do I leave a positive impact on others after a conversation? Are you ready to pivot? Have you ever heard the powerful song called I Am Changing from Dreamgirls, originally performed by Jennifer Holliday? Every time I hear that song, it sends goosebumps up my arms and chills down my spine. At the very end of the song, she sings, I am changing. I'll get my life together now. I am changing. Yes, I know how. I'm gonna start again. I'm gonna leave my past behind. I'll change my life. I'll make a vow. Nothing's gonna stop me now. This song so beautifully illustrates where you are sitting today. You now have the practices, the time management skills, and the how-to guide for incorporating the pivot principle into your everyday life. Now that you've begun the process of mastering your mindset, it's time to pivot into action. How do you do that? Determine which area you most want to focus on first. Is it fear? Are you desperately looking to change your inner circle? Do you feel you need help the most with scheduling and time management? Go back through the book and decide where you would like to improve first. No matter your answer, reread that chapter and pivot into action. As we mentioned in this book, holding yourself accountable is key in accomplishing any goal. What better way to do that than by connecting with other like-minded pivoters on social media? If you are ready to pivot, head to Instagram or Twitter and share your story along with hashtag I am ready to pivot. If you are on Instagram, let us know who you are with a selfie. Photos not your thing? Head to Twitter and post a tweet. The hashtag allows us all to connect and support one another on this journey. We are honored to be on this adventure with you and excited for the beginning of your new chapter. Trust the process, commit to yourself, and go unlock your inner greatness. Remember, all of your wildest dreams and desires are right at your fingertips. They're just a pivot away. To connect with us on social media, you can find us at Instagram, Freddie Smith at FMSmith319, Alyssa Tabbitt at Alyssa Tabbitt, hashtag I am ready to pivot, hashtag the pivot principle, facebook.com/, Freddie and Alyssa. YouTube. youtube.com/Freddie Alyssa. Twitter. Freddie Smith @Freddie M. Smith. Alyssa Tabbitt @Alyssa Tabbitt. To Rick and Valerie Tabbitt, who believed in my wildest dreams and encouraged me to go on every adventure, especially this one.
To Fred and Renee Smith, who supported their only child's decision to move from a small town in Ohio to Los Angeles to fulfill his dreams. To our future leaders of tomorrow, Mila Deborah Shardo, Juliana Marie Cardiello.
The Pivot Principle. Copyright 2018 by Freddie Smith and Alyssa Tabbitt. All rights reserved. No part of this publication may be reproduced, distributed, or transmitted in any form or by any means without the written permission of the authors. This publication is designed to provide general information regarding the subject matter covered. The authors disclaim any liability resulting from the use or application of the information contained in this book, and the information is not intended to serve as legal, financial, or other professional advice related to individual situations. Portions of this book are works of nonfiction. Certain names and identifying characteristics have been changed to protect the privacy of individuals. Edited by Deborah Kastner and Michael Ross. Recorded by Nels Jensen at the Pi Studios. Ordering information: thepivotprinciple.shop.